Guys, it's Captain Forrest here, and today I'm back with a death battle prediction video, and it's going to be Storm versus Korra. Now, I also have my good friend on the channel, Kurai. Introduce yourself.
What's up? It's me, Kurai, and I'll be covering Korra.
Awesome. So, I'm going to be covering Storm. So I will talk about Storm's AP, speed, some of her abilities and resistances, etc, etc. Then I will then pass the mic over to Kurai. Kurai can talk about Korra, and then we'll both give our thoughts on who we think wins more often than not. So I'm going to go ahead and get right into the meat and potatoes of things. I'm going to talk about Storm. So in terms of Storm, like her AP, so depending on how you scale Marvel, you can easily get her around like high hyperversal plus or the low ends of multi plus. Now Storm has demonstrated some impressive feats, such as being able to block a full powered optic blast with her lightning. This same optic blast from Cyclops is able to burn the Hulk's skin, and Cyclops has consistently demonstrated to hurt the likes of Thor, like on a good few occasions with his optic blast, and Thor himself has like high hyperversal scaling, high hyperversal plus. He was able to like hold the collapse of like countless dimensions and universes with with the help of other three Thors. This is impressive because if you look at the how the cosmology works for like Marvel and how the universes work in Marvel, they're high hyper structures, so high hyperversal structures, and obviously depending on how you go about for example like versus wiki, that's easily like high hyperversal if not like low outerversal. I did mention this before in like previous videos that I've done with Marvel characters, so yeah, if you guys want to like check on that a bit more, I will also like leave some links in the description. I'll also put some scans on the screen as well, so you guys can see that too. And also, moving on, this makes it impressive because Storm, she blasted Thor with her own lightning, and Thor was able to like absorb that lightning and blast it back at Storm, and she tanks it, which is very impressive. She tanks it pretty nicely. And yes, now granted, Thor does hold back in character, so he is suppressed, like he holds back against like mortals and animals, I believe, but still, even if he is suppressed, it's still in that like ballpark. Even if she doesn't scale fully to Thor, she's still in that high hyperversal ballpark, which is still impressive. Now moving on to like oh yeah, and one more thing as well, like just to add on consistency, those are showing in the Avengers versus X-Men fight, where Storm was able to like fight Phoenix Force amped Emma Frost, and they both got into like a beam struggle. So she fired like some Phoenix Force fire, and Storm was able to like counteract this with her own lightning, which was very impressive. And literally like this same like Emma Frost, who was amped by the Phoenix Force, she literally beats the brakes off like Thor. Like she beats him up very badly and like mocks him after she like beats him. She literally just licks the blood off his face and just beats him up some more. So that also just adds on more consistency to like the high hyperversal arguments and like the consistency. So she's still in that ballpark. But yeah, that's pretty much it for AP. Moving on to speed, she easily has immeasurable speed. She's able to casually dodge like Mjolnir when Thor throws his hammer at her, and this is pretty consistent, as like literally like Storm is able to react to like Wolverine. She can dodge. She's also been able to like dodge Thor's hammer also again consistently. She's also able to react to Cyclops' optic blast too, and obviously these characters like Thor can like time travel and, you know, like react to other characters like Silver Surfer, who can time travel with their raw speed alone, which is easily immeasurable. And even if you use like low ends, like FTL, MFTL, like finite numbers, that's still impressive. So right there, she has some like ranges of speeds depending on how you like scale Marvel and what you want to choose. So that's gonna conclude. It's gonna conclude speed. I'm gonna go ahead and talk about Storm's abilities. So Storm has weather manipulation, of course. In fact, she has complete mastery over weather, and she also shares a connection to the Earth, which entails an assortment of other abilities with her weather manipulation, such as creating a thunderstorm or a bolt of lightning from the sky, or firing lightning bolts from her hands. She can create fog and icy blizzards and blast it at her foes. She can create huge tornadoes and hurricanes, and Storm is also demonstrated to be able to like just change the weather. She can cause it to rain with torrential downpour, snow. She can cause it to snow, or just have clear sunny skies. Storm can also use the wind to fly, and also use the wind as a form of telekinesis to grab objects and throw them. Storm can also, she can like control the weather with just a thought, so she doesn't have to use hand gestures. She can just use her mind alone. And she can also use clairvoyance, and it also gives her like precognition as well when she uses clairvoyance, or just like when she's not using it as well, because she's able to also like expand her perception and use the energy in the atmosphere to probe and look around places. And pretty much the whole atmosphere around her just like literally tells her like if there's like some disturbance in the wind and movements, which is like some form of precog. It just alerts her. She's got really good senses as well. She's able to like detect and pretty much predict like the weather. She can like read the weather in people's like nervous systems, so she can read electrons and electric patterns. And Storm can also use the elemental force. Like she demonstrated this impressive feat where she was able to seal up a hole in time and space. And Storm can also like dispel weather. She can also power null people who try to manipulate the elements of the weather, or just any type of like anything to do with like messing with the atmosphere, or any types of mumbo jumbo. She's able to like control the weather on a molecular level. She can also cause the atmosphere to heat up, and she can also restrict the air, causing you to suffocate. And she also has some like magnetic manipulation, so she's able to like shoot off her lightning and like cause this like kind of like an EMP, so she can like short circuit things. And she's also able to like show really good usage of her like weather manipulation, especially in like environmental situations and combat. Like she has demonstrated this. For example, she's literally used her wind to blast like little pieces of debris or straw from like a haystack at great speeds, turning these like minuscule objects into like sharp, lethal projectiles. Just like when she fought like Emma Frost, when Emma Frost was trying to use her diamond form to protect herself, Storm just used the wind to like collect some like stray hairs of like straw, and she shot it at like full speed, which turned these little like pieces of stray like straws to be like sharp needles. And she was also able to like muddy up the floor by like using her weather manipulation, causing people to slip. And she was also able to like trap people in small tornadoes as well. But yeah, that's gonna round up like her basic like weather powers. She has more, but like this is just the basics, you know. So moving on to some of her like resistances. She has some basic resistances, so she's just like any other X-Men character who's been trained by Charles Xavier. They all have like resistance to like mind attacks, or you know, mental hexes. So like she can like stop her brain from being probed, or stop her body from being controlled. This is impressive because Emma Frost, who's like one of the most powerful telepaths in Marvel, like she's able to resist Emma Frost like mind hacks. She was even able to resist her empathy manipulation, because Emma Frost can use like behavior modification, which like messes you up. It like makes you behave however she wants, and the same Storm is able to like resist that and just like shoot like a bolt of lightning to counter her. And Storm does have some natural resistances like heat and cold, so she doesn't feel it. So she doesn't feel hot or cold, like she can control that. Not even Iceman's like ice can affect her, and Iceman's ice can reach like literally like sub-zero to like absolute zero temperatures. So that's pretty much it for like Storm. I'm gonna go ahead and give the mic off to Kurai. He's gonna talk about Korra.
Alright, so it's me, Kurai, and I'm going to be talking about Korra. Now, when it comes to Korra's AP, it's kind of lacking, per se, because it's not very that impressive. So we're gonna start off with the lower stuff. She does have some building level plus stuff comparable to Moko, which is kind of like a fodder character within Avatar. She has city block stuff, being able to be superior to Kid Katara and Toph herself. Now I'm going to be talking about Toph herself because Toph is one of the biggest and baddest characters, like when it comes to like being strong wise in Avatar. So she does have a city block feat, being able to be superior and even match Boomy. And and I'm gonna give the link to Forrest so he can post the calc on screen. And that feat right there was already calc to be city block level. Now, when it comes to Korra's other stuff too as well, she does have some multi-city block stuff, to where she was able to like save a giant city. And she also has some island level stuff too as well, because it's stated like in the Avatar state to where Aang herself, or Kid Aang, this is Kid Aang, which Korra should be superior to Kid Aang, was able with his Avatar state able to sink an entire island, and the Korra is also able to do that same exact thing too as well. Now here are the higher stuff that more likely they'll probably will not use, but Korra actually does have some moon level feats. This is actually being comparable to Aang in the Avatar state, and when you're in the Avatar state, it scales to like the full power of Rava, which is basically the moon spirit itself. And the Avatar state is part of Rava in itself, which is the moon spirit itself, and has full control over the moon, to which the waterbenders in Avatar like draw their strength from too as well. Also too as well, when it comes to Korra's like haxes and whatnot, when it comes to her haxes, she does get more stronger if if it comes down to moon time, when it's at night, because again, waterbenders have more strength when it's at nighttime. And when it's in the sun, like when it's like sunny outside or just daylight, she also gets stronger too as well, just for firebenders too as well. Some more stuff that Korra has is mostly stuff that Aang also has, that Kid Aang also has, just having immortality, knowing martial arts, chi, enhanced senses, dimensional travel, weather manipulation, and then also having control of all the elementals, which is basically water bending, earth bending, fire bending, and air bending as well. She also has metal bending too as well, that she can also use too as well. Now, that's pretty much it when it comes to her haxes. Another thing too as well that more likely they Death Battle would not use too as well is it's like she does have some outer versal stuff, but I would not go around that route because it feels like Korra would not scale to this at all, or not even Aang should even scale to this at all. Now when it comes to her speed, she does have like some subsonic feats. She has like massively hypersonic plus stuff just from via dodging lightning, and possibly even higher stuff, her being in the Avatar state. and then yeah. Another thing too as well that I do want to mention for Korra. Now, when it comes to Korra in herself, and the Avatar state, which is something that's actually very important, is that Korra has all the memories of all the previous avatars, like every single memory when she's in the Avatar state. So which means she will have all the skill of every avatar that was before her, and that would just be adding layers on top of it. Note though, if she does die in the Avatar state, that means she's done. She's done for good, per se, and the Avatar line will be erased basically from existence. So that's one downfall to the Avatar state as well. But on the upside, she does have all the knowledge and all the skill of the previous avatars too as well. Another thing too as well. When it comes to like Toph, she is a master at all these elements too as well. So there's something that too as well that she does have mastery over all of it. She can also with the Avatar state can affect the soul and power null itself. So she can do that just by the touch of someone, just by touching them. She can like eliminate or basically take away any not any but like any elemental like attributes that person has, like via Aang was when Aang fought the Fire Lord, to which Aang was able to completely power null the Fire Lord too as well. Also make sure that's very key that that Korra is superior to Toph, Korra, and Aang, Kid Aang, not adult Aang, but Kid Aang, and like the Avatar, and like the newer series of the Avatar, to which Korra is superior to all of them. And then yeah, that's pretty much it for Korra. And I'm gonna pass the mic back to Forrest.
All right, folks. So yeah. So looking at this fight, like on paper, it looks good. Like they both have like elemental manipulation. It's just that the unfortunate, like it's just so unfortunate for like Korra. There is just a massive disadvantage for her in terms of like AP and speed. Like Storm just outclasses her in stats. Just way too powerful. Like crazy AP, crazy speed. And as Kurai mentioned, like yeah, even there is like multiversal arguments, but like obviously that's not very consistent. And even if you did grant her that, you could also, there's outer arguments for like some of the X-Men characters too. If you want to go higher, you can get Storm pretty high too. There's also like many things you could argue for her too. Like even if like certain like things were equalized, it'd make the fight a lot more interesting. But ultimately, I personally see Storm taking victory more often than not. Her mutant powers, her control over the weather is just way too crazy. She can restrict power null. She can like possibly even suffocate Korra. Use her, use the environment to advantage. Lightning bolt blast, GG. The speed, massive speed gap. Like just massive. Like just Storm just blitzes. She's just too fast. But like that's just me like going over like just the objective stats of like the fight. But if we look at like the lens of like Death Battle, I'm not 100% sure what Death Battle are going to use for like Storm. They're going to use a lot of low ends. I don't know if they're going to use I think it's a moon level or a planetary feat that Storm performs. Like she has like planetary range with her weather manipulation, which could be a massive problem if they go through that route. But I don't know if they're going to actually use like planetary stuff. They might talk about some of her like better scaling, and even if they like mention some of the Thor stuff or like other feats that she demonstrates against like some of the other mutants like Cyclops, You know, they'd probably have her on like Uni Plus, you know, or like low multi, or just or like Hal. Even I don't know if they still use the old meta, like, you know, solar system, multi galaxy, just the weird like low ends, which I don't have a problem with per se, because obviously it's just a death battle at the end of the day. So they could go with that route. As for speed, they probably use like finite numbers, so I don't think they'll use the chain scaling. They'll probably use like MFTL stuff. Like, she can react to like Herald Tier. She can react to Thor consistently. She literally just sidesteps, like literally Thor throwing at like her hammer, like his hammer at her, and she literally just makes a joke saying, haha, well, you're gonna have to pay for this damage. You literally, you know, you messed up the mansion, so you're paying for that. It's gonna be on your tab. So she can react to these characters pretty easily. So even if you go off like low ends, you know, like, you know, FTL, MFTL, she's definitely in that ballpark of speed, you know, with the huge low end. But yeah, that's pretty much it for me. I would have to lean more so to a Storm, even if you use the lowest of the low. Like, I'm talking like freaking like just crazy low ends. Like, she's still just she just bodies, I'm afraid. She's just like, the stats are just really unfortunate. But I'm gonna go ahead and leave it to Kurai. He can give his thoughts too.
All right, so now when it comes to like my thoughts on this battle, it's just kind of the same with Captain Force here. It's just Storm just outclasses like in every single way. It's just like I said, the it's like what you said, that like the AP is just too massive. Even if you were to downplay Storm, it's still too much. It's still too much. It's there's literally like no contest here. It's just like Storm just outclasses in every category, every stat, and it's like in the end of the day, we're talking about Marvel. In the end, we're talking about like Marvel versus Avatar. It's not really like it's really not really like a good comparison to compare the two, or like, because like Marvel is in their own lead while Avatar is barely making it, and it's like Korra, like not even in the avatar, when she's not even in the avatar state, doesn't even reach FTL. It's just like doesn't even reach that far. It's like, and then even if like Death Battle goes with Storm having like massively faster than light to FTL stuff, there's still like a massive gap, and the more likely Death Battle will end up using the same lightning timing feat that they did with Zuko and Todoroki. I think that's his name. But they're gonna probably end up using that same thing again, just to say that Korra is probably faster than lightning, and Storm just outclasses, and it's like just outclasses either way. It's like her hexes, she's just gonna neg everything. It's just like if Korra's just gonna throw some fire, she's gonna neg it. If she's gonna like put ice, you know, like get ice and it's just start throwing it at Storm. Storm's just gonna neg it. And also something I forgot to mention too as well for Korra is that she does have bloodbending too as well. But in the end of the day, Storm is just gonna resist that and still body. So yeah, I'm more on on the sides of Storm just bodying like Korra in every single category, like in any way that you put it, Storm's just gonna body. That's my thoughts.
Okie doke. Just to quickly summarize, it's just the unfortunate factor of just Storm having just better AP, better speed, just better hexes, better control over the weather. Both are masters at, you know, using their elemental arts, but of course, just Storm just unfortunately is just on a whole new level. But anyway, that's gonna round up the video. Thank you guys for watching. Shoutouts to Kurai, of course. I will leave his channel link in the description. Appreciate the help with covering Korra. And of course, in fact, if you guys would like to see a Storm video, you guys know what to do. Leave a like, comment down below, and I'll possibly make one in the future. But yeah, let me know who you think is going to win in next Death Battle. Captain Forest, signing out. Peace.
Peace. It's like your mom.